Hey everyone, we're here with Kishori and Karishma, the last team to sadly leave the amazing race. I'm Emma.
I'm Evie.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome back to the Tar Pit Podcast.
Hey guys, thanks for having us back.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate you guys taking the time. And Evie wanted to say something especially to you guys.
So before I jump into the first question, you guys were my favorite team, and I'm sad that I have to pick a new one.
Oh, Evie, that's
such an honor.
So sweet. We appreciate that.
We didn't win, but Evie picked us as her favorite team, so that's a win in my book.
Oh,
that is
nice.
girl
Thank
power. We love it.
So moving on, what was the decision behind having Karishma do the Who's Feeling Bored roadblock?
So when we got to the roadblock, I remember me and Kishori were there and we saw this big skate park, and my assumption was that it was going to be, skateboarding. And so when I looked at Kishori knew I was able to skateboard and that I'd grown up doing that. And so we really were kind of torn because I was like, well, one, if it's skateboarding, I know we can knock this out because I'm really good at skateboarding. But if it's something else like Kishori had mentioned, then, it would have gone either way. So the way the phrasing was, who wants to board, I just assumed it was skateboarding. And so that's why we went with me. And then it just wasn't, which was unfortunate. But that was kind of the decision behind choosing me over Kishori for that specific roadblock.
Yeah, and those clues, as we know, they're worded so tricky. They really throw curveballs at you. So we thought Karishma would be the better choice, but you just never know with the race. They love to confuse you.
Yeah, for sure. So, as you were going through your time on the race, were there any teams that you tended to partner up with the most? We're starting to see some of these little alliances form, at least on the show, on the show end of it. Was there any teams that you guys tended to partner up with and help each other, or people helped you a lot? Who were some of the teams that you tended to partner up with the most?
Yeah, so we actually had a really strong alliance with the yellow team, Derek and Shalisa. They were like our race mom and dad. And so
love them.
we love them. So obviously you saw in the Columbia episode that they, helped us with the meat challenge. But what wasn't shown was actually during the puzzle challenge in Columbia, Shalisa and Karishma were actually tag teaming and working together really well. So that wasn't shown, but they were one of our closest alliance members, along with the boys, Juan and Shane. We were really close with them as well.
Oh, yeah, the entire time I was doing the puzzle, I was working with Shalisa. And then also when I built the skateboard, Derek was helping me as well, just like get started with tools, because I did not know what anything was. He was like, okay, Karishma, that's what this, like, they were truly our race parents throughout the race, just taking care of us and kind of taking us under their wing, coaching us. So we really, truly love Derek and Shalisa. We're so close with them even now. So we're so excited to see them soon.
Oh, nice.
We talked to them too before the race, and we also really love them.
Oh, they're such great people.
Mm-hmm.
They really are.
Yeah. They're very cool.
So by the time you guys got to the pit stop, did you have a feeling that you were the last team, or did you not know?
When we got to the pit stop, I would say we definitely knew we were in the back of the pack, but something that Kishori and I agreed on was no matter where we are in the race, what we're doing, to never let that get in our minds. Just keep racing. You never know what's going to happen because you look at Sunny and Busy, and sometimes they're in the back of the pack, but then they complete a roadblock or a detour in 2 minutes, and then they're out of there. So you never know what's going to happen in the race and where you are. So you really can't give up. So when we got there, I looked at Kishori and she looked at me, and we're like, we're going to do this the best that we can, as fast as we can, and just get to Phil and hope for the best. And that's what we did. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough, but we definitely kept a positive mindset the entire time, which I'm really happy about. We didn't get too down about being in the back of the pack.
Well, my friend and I, we talk about you guys because you guys were our favorite team. So, so we were really talking about how you guys always seem to jump back, and we knew that you guys were in the back of the pack, but you always seem to jump back, and you're in the back of the pack, but you're not last.
Yeah, they seem to bounce back a little bit, but this time they weren't able to. But yeah, her and her friend talk about this at school a lot.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Yeah, we got lucky. We were able to somehow always escape with not being last for pretty much all the legs. And then just this past on the skateboard really, really took us out. But
I would say honestly, like the race gives you some like good life lessons as well, because it's like even if you're at the back of the pack or in like, you know, real life situations, like you have to keep your head on your shoulders and like stay positive and stay grounded. And I think we had that mentality the entire time. Like we had this attitude of gratitude. We had this sense of like positivity. And I think that's really important to, you know, take with you in your everyday life as well. So I think Karishma and I like did a good job at that. And I was really proud of like how we treated one another and how we, you know, we tackled the race together.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Nobody like lost it or freaked out at anybody. So
I felt bad. I made Kishori cry a couple times with stressing her out, but we had fun. And I think that's
we had fun.
We were really happy to take away from the race. Whereas like, even though we were stressed in the back of the pack, we always found ways throughout the race to just smile and try and enjoy it and just goof around with each other. And we're so close after the race because of those moments. We got so much out of it. Even though we didn't win, I felt like we won because our relationship we're practically like sisters, best friends. Like I call Kishori so much.
Oh, I know. She really is my little sister. And you're right, Karishma. You do win so much more than just like the actual title. Like we won some incredible friendships along the way. We won like this once in a lifetime experience. We got to see places in the world we've never been to. So like we are super, super grateful that we had this opportunity.
Completely.
So what were some of your most challenging moments from the entire experience, not just the skateboarding?
Well, we know I had a lot of challenging moments, but you go first.
I think in general, what, you know, viewers don't necessarily see at home is like, there's so much more to the race than you're seeing. So like, you know, you're dehydrated, you're hungry, you're not sleeping as much. And there's also cameras with you 24/7. Like there's a lot going on, and like, you don't necessarily see how much we run, and how long the driving, you know, is from going from place to place. Like it is a lot harder than it looks. And so I think that was something that I think takes everyone by surprise. And the other thing is you can't underestimate any team. You really just don't know what their secret skills or talents are. So you just, it's wild.
Yeah. I think for me, the hardest part was probably kind of going off what Kishori said, was just how fast paced the race was. Cause you watch it and it's snippets of the race, but then you get there and it's such long days. Like you're constantly going and there's just so much uncertainty throughout the entire race. Like, oh my gosh, are we going to make it? Are we going to be the last team? Are we going to be the first team? Am I going to be able to do this? Like, there's just so much uncertainty. Like, are we going to do stick shift? Like, there's just so many different things you don't know throughout. And it's so hard to prepare for that portion of like the stress of the race. But like, you can do all the things at home. Like, for instance, I did take you might have not been able to tell, but I did take a lot of stick shift lessons.
She did a lot.
And I practiced a lot, and then you get there and the car is different. Like it's a different kind of stick shift car. So the gear's a little different. So you're at the race and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not used to this. So you get a little, I called it stick shift stage fright, where I'm like just trying to get my self in order before we start the day. And so little moments like that. And then just getting to tasks and you're thinking one person can do it and it's the complete opposite. And it's just, there's so much going on. And that was probably the hardest part of the race, was just like trying to slow down and take a moment to take a breath and take a step back, because that's something I know I struggle with. And I learned that in the race, is like, I'm a very fast paced person. I'm very crazy. I don't think much before I do. And after the race, I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to kind of take a breath, step back. And maybe that would have helped us in the race. So that was a really great lesson I learned going on the show for sure.
And also we saw like during the stick shift where the car stalled out and you were like, oh my God, did the car stall out? And then like, and then you got it to work, but then it just stalled out again.
Yes, that tended to happen towards the beginning for sure. That was a funny moment. But Kishori was even trying to help me because the key was
really stuck. We were trying to get it out. But I will say, like, Karishma did a really good job driving. Like that scene that was shown was really like only like a couple minutes, like 10 minutes max. Like she really did a good job driving stick shift. But it's always like drawn out on television to make it a little bit more dramatic than it was.
It definitely was entertaining to watch me do
Yeah.
that. So I'm glad it got some laughs.
So you guys said you had a few challenging moments, but what will be your favorite memory from the Amazing Race?
Oh my gosh. I have so many.
I have so
There's
many
so
too.
many.
I think there was like, so behind the scenes, they don't show it on camera, but Kishori
Yeah.
and I brought
I was gonna say that.
we brought these pajamas. We brought these like silky pajamas because they were super small. And every night I felt like me and Kishori were having literally a sleepover. So we'd be in little silky pajamas. Afterwards, like they let you pick your dinner when you finish racing, you circle it and they bring it to your room. And so Kishori was always trying to get me to like, eat my dinner all the way, like finish my meals, like take my proper vitamins, make sure I'm sleeping, doing puzzles. Like it was literally like a little mini sleepover with Kishori in those moments before we actually did the race and we were bonding. It was so fun. Like I loved that part. I loved meeting all the other cast members, like, because you're in a room with these strangers at the beginning. When you first get there, you're about to leave for the race. You look at everybody and you're trying to be like, what are they like? Who are they? Like, what is their thing? And then by the end of it, they're basically your family because you've all gone through the same experience together. You've all traveled to the same countries and they've become such close friends. So I think that was a really fun memory in itself, like the entire race, like people going from strangers to now what it feels like as our family. I think those are my favorites. And obviously the adventures we had throughout the race. I loved like the paragliding. I love anything in the sky. So that was really fun. Kishori, I actually did love seeing Kishori cook meat because she was a full vegan. That was fun to watch. There were so many memories. I have a million.
Yeah, I have like a whole journal of memories, but like every single day was so much fun. Like the entirety of the race was just an absolute blast. Like even like the plane rides, like kind of like getting to know people and then like the challenges, like that adrenaline rush. But I will say some of my favorite memories were like when we got back to like the hotel room at night, like we obviously had no cell phones. We had no connection with the outside world. So Karishma and I were just kind of bonding in the room together. We'd be doing our laundry from that day. We'd be eating dinner together. We'd be doing Sudoku books. We'd be talking about like what we did well, what we could have improved upon. It was just like so much fun and just talking about life and our goals. And it was such a fun experience. That's probably like one of my top moments. So I agree with Karishma on that one.
Aw, that's nice.
Since you guys were having so much fun at night, did you get any sleep?
Honestly, we did not sleep much.
Kishori made me get to sleep. I would be waking Kishori up all the time. I'm bothering her. Like I feel like I'm her little sister and I'm bothering her like, Kishori, wake up. And she'd have her sleeping mask on. She'd be like, Karishma, go to bed. And
I know. Well, we'd be
like,
going to bed like super late because we were always the back of the pack. So we'd always be going to bed like the latest.
When you're at the end of the pack, that means you have to do your like interviews last. So you're waiting a long time because there's a line that starts to build up. So when you're like last or second to last, almost every leg, like you have a long wait time. Whereas like Ricky and Caesar are like the first leg, second leg, they're in the front of the pack. So they get so much time to eat and sleep and like they go
well rested.
Yeah, they're like doing their interviews in the sunlight. Like we rarely had sunlight. So we were going to bed late.
But also Ricky and Cesar had to wake up, like that group has to wake up the earliest.
No, we all have to wake up at the same time. They make everybody go to the thing at the same time.
Same time,
Okay.
yeah.
We all have to get ready downstairs and get our mics, like get everything on us. And then the other groups just have to wait and watch them run away.
Go first, yeah.
Yeah, so the people who finish first, it's honestly an advantage. Like that is, you get more sleep. You're most likely getting more sleep and you're most likely more well rested because you just have so much more time to recover.
So, was there anything that didn't make it to the show that you wish that would have?
Oh my God, I'm sure we had plenty of other funny, crazy, random one-liners, but I do have this one distinct memory of the taxi ride from the breakdancing to the puzzle challenge. We were like exhausted. It was super hot that day. And I remember Karishma was like overheated. And so she had this bedazzled fan in her backpack. And I was like holding the fan up to her face, like fanning her in the car ride to the challenge. And I was like, why did that not make the cut? It was so funny.
It was pretty funny. I bedazzled all my things before I left and they never really showed it, but I had a bedazzled pink fan, like Kishori said. And then I had a bedazzled pink compass. And yeah, I remember I was so hot in the taxi ride. I was like, Kishori. And I'm like laying down in her lap. I'm like, fan me. And then she's fanning me in the car, and everyone, like the cameraman, everyone's just laughing, the driver. And then we get to the thing, and Kishori's like, I'll probably do this task because you're so like dehydrated. Because it was so hard for me to just drink water. Like I was not staying as hydrated as I probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the task, and I was like, oh, it's art. I'll do it. And Kishore was like, are you sure? You were like passed out in the car. But I did it. And obviously we could see it probably wasn't a good idea for me to do that one either.
Was there anything that you guys would do differently if you could?
Oh my God.
We have this like inside joke now that if we were ever to go back on the race, which we would love to,
We would love to, yes.
we would swap every challenge. So whenever we would read a clue and it seems like a Kishori challenge, I'd give it to Karishma. And whenever it seems like a Karishma challenge, we give it to me because they love to trick you up. And I feel like that's the best way to just, give it to the other person when you think it's for you.
Or
That's a
like
good
the
idea.
first 5 legs of the race, I would just make Kishori do all the roadblocks. And then save mine for the end when we're a little further.
Is there anything else about the race that you want people to know? Anything behind the scenes? Anything that as a viewer, you thought one thing, but now that you've been a participant or an alum, you've noticed something else. Is there anything else that you want people to know about the race?
I would say definitely shoot your shot and send in an application video. Like I grew up watching it just like you guys. Yeah, you guys are, and you should definitely apply. Like you just really never know. And it was such an amazing opportunity. And everyone from like the producers to the crew to like our fellow castmates really are like lifelong friends and family. And I know Karishma and I both like just loved our time on the race and just feel incredibly lucky and grateful for the experience.
Thanks.
Yeah, completely agree. I think if you even think about wanting to do the race, you should apply because you just really never know. Because Shori was the one who kind of got me. She was the reason why the race, like I was able to be on the race. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I'm glad that opportunity was brought to me. And I think, yeah, if you have a dream, if you dream to go on the race, you should do it because it's so much fun. And it's it's just the greatest adventure ever. So if you have opportunity or you want to do it, it doesn't hurt to try. And there's so many people throughout cast who have it takes a lot of tries for them to get on the show, but they still get on the show because they keep trying. And I think that's important. And also just go in prepared, do your puzzles, do your full like training and have fun. Just have fun.
Nice.
So thank you guys for coming on our show, but what's next for you guys? And can you guys remind our listeners how they can keep up with you on social?
Yeah. For me, I think what's next is I'm always traveling and I'm always trying to get Kishori to, I almost said Kaveri, that's my little sister. Sorry. Kishori to come with me on all my travels. So maybe Kishori will come with me to Egypt this October. I'm going to go skydive over the pyramids at a festival. And I'm trying to convince Kishori to come with me and maybe do her first skydive over the pyramids. That'd be really fun. But
Yes.
I know.
If Kishori doesn't want to, I'll go with you.
You're welcome anytime. Come with me anytime. But yeah, I think that's what's next is just I'm always traveling, always trying to, have my adventures and I'll obviously bring Kishori along whenever she wants to, but Kishori is a very busy person, as we know. But yeah, that's what's next for me. Just having fun, traveling, seeing the world. Those are my favorite things to do. Lots of skydiving. What about you, Kishori?
Yeah, I think same for me. So I definitely want to plan another international trip with Karishma this year. So in January, we actually went to Tulum together, which was a blast. So I think I'll join her on her Egypt trip. But if not, we really want to go to India together either later this year or next year. I think that would be so much fun. I haven't been in a while and Karishma's never been. And then I recently moved to New York City, actually, this past December. So I've been having a lot of fun just exploring the city. And I'm really excited for summertime here just to see the city and all the different activities. But as for social, you can follow me on Instagram at Kishori Turner. And I'm new to TikTok, but at Kishori _Turner.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
and for me, it's the same. My on Instagram is at Karishma Cordero, and then same for TikTok at Karishma Cordero. I'm also new to TikTok, so.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to following you guys and seeing lots of fun adventures and a great future ahead of you. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
and
you
it was
guys
good to
so
talk to you.
much.
Yes, thank you for
So
having
good
us.
chatting.
You guys are such a fun podcast.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love
Thank you.
chatting with you.
Thanks.
Love that it's family run. You guys are
Yes,
so
that's
sweet.
so amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And maybe we can plan a trip to Disneyland.
Oh, there you go.
Let's do it, girl.
Let's do it. We can meet you in Disneyland.
down.
We are
Okay.
experts at that. We can
Yeah.
definitely show someone that place.
That's
too.
fun.
And we'll have to invite Danny and Angie because they're also experts at
Oh yeah,
Disney.
Danny loves
Oh,
Disney.
nice.
Yes,
He
we have to
loves
invite.
Disney.
Oh, fun. We'll have to mention that next time we talk to him. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. Have a
Thank
good
you
week.
guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.